So tonight's Knicks-Pacers game is kind of the convergence of Wall Street, a lot of fans from Wall Street, and sports fans, kind of a perfect merging of the two. What kind of volume do you anticipate seeing for contracts tied to this series?
I think we're going to see a lot. We yesterday launched our first games specifically associated with Oklahoma City and Minnesota and saw tremendous results from it. Clients incredibly engaged in a game. So I can only imagine with what I've seen here with the Knicks in Indiana that you're going to see continued engagement and probably a lot of volume higher than probably what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, and you have individual contracts for each games as well. So it's not just the series. And certainly I hope that the Knicks will sweep the Pacers, but it is unlikely. I know you're laughing. How much liquidity do you anticipate there to be for a Game 7 even before the series plays itself out?
So we already have the championship contracts up there. So there's different sets of contracts that are available. You have a individual game and then who will win the championship. We've already seen very deep liquidity in the Game 7 championship, so who will win. Mm-hmm. But what will be interesting is each one of these games are their own individual contract. Mm-hmm. So a Game 7 probably would see heightened liquidity in there overall, just because the interest overall will be greater because of what will happen. You kind of saw that a couple of days ago between Oklahoma City and Denver with a tremendous game coming together after a huge series. I think you'd see the same thing, especially if you talk about Indiana and New York Knicks, which is a huge rivalry.
Now, Robinhood, of course, this isn't just confined, this prediction market isn't just confined to basketball. You're also involved, of course, with PGA, Indy 500, I'm told, yep, as well. Is there a sense here that the adoption of this will be predicated on the quality of the sport or the competition or the matchups, if you will? Or is it just going to be sort of everybody's just going to go in no matter what the event is, meaning it doesn't matter, it's just sort of agnostic to the event or the sport?
So actually, prediction markets as a whole, I think, are greater than just sports. And what we saw this when we did the election contracts, enormous popularity, right, over 800 million contracts traded on just that, on the presidential election. We've seen that continue with economics, but also with sports. I do think what you see is a correlation between, let's say, the sports that people are very interested in, like the NBA playoffs right now, and the NHL playoffs, versus maybe something like the PGA, which maybe people have a little less interest because they don't know that much about. But if you compare Masters to the PGA, unbelievable participation for people because they want to access these markets. They have vested interest what they're looking at. It's an opportunity for them to enter and exit in real time. So it's really an engaging product for them.
Of course, these prediction markets are not without controversy. Regulators have looked at this and they've questioned whether this is just effectively gambling and whether it should be regulated as gambling. How many states are you currently up and running in? And which states are holding out so far?
So we're currently not offering this in New Jersey, Nevada, and in the state of Maryland. We're working very closely with both the state regulators there, but it is available to the rest of the United States. I think more importantly, when you look at what's happening from a regulation standpoint, is these are basically federally preempted contracts. They work and trade just like a futures contract that's available to any of our customers, and we think that holds true for how these products should be treated and how they are governed. And we're working with the CFTC and others to make sure that they feel comfortable with it.
And just to be clear, I mean, I can only bet on the outcome. I can't do how many points a certain player is going to make or something like that, or any kind of parlays or anything like that, right?
Correct. You can only trade actually the outcome. Is it who's going to win a particular event?
What about people overseas if they wanted to place a bet? Are they able to do that?
We do not. We do not let anybody overseas. It's only reserved for domestic U.S. clients today.